Prince Harry revealed he didn't think much about fashion while being a full-time royal, often being seen in mismatched outfits and wearing crumpled shirts. Writing in his recently published memoir, Spare, he recalled being mocked for wearing holey shoes and admitted he did most of his shopping in TK Maxx, a discount store in the UK, which he was particularly fond of. The Duke of Sussex explained he was given a clothing allowance each year from his father, King Charles III, but the money was only to be spent on formal wear and did not stretch to cover the prince's more casual clothes. While many commentators were quick to point out holes in Harry's story, some have now come to his defense, referring to the king's recent outing which saw him make a relatable fashion error. Rachel Bowie and Roberta Fiorito, hosts of the Royally Obsessed podcast, discussed King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla's visit to the Bangladeshi community of Brick Lane on February 8. The couple met local charities, businesses and members actively involved in the anti-racism movement of the 60s and 70s. But when visiting a historic mosque on the infamous London street, it was revealed that King Charles had a hole in his sock. The small hole was visible as he took off his shoes to adhere to custom inside the mosque. And while royal watchers were endeared by the monarch's relatability, Ms. Fiorito was quick to think back to Prince Harry's claims. Harry and Meghan's transatlantic campaign of hate backfires as U.S. celebrities snub them. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's absence from Oprah Winfrey's recent birthday celebrations signals the Sussexes are increasingly unpopular in the U.S., said Washington-based commentator Niall Gardner. They are already pariahs in the UK, the royal enthusiast wrote on Twitter. Find out more here. She said, he visited a mosque last week and a photographer took a picture of his feet when he took off his shoes. There was a hole in his sock. This is so heartbreaking to me. I'm so upset because after reading Spare and learning about how limited the budget, especially the men's clothing budget it seems like, is and how they really do wear things until there are holes in them. Harry talked about the shoes that his dad got him that he wore until there was a hole in the bottom and a photographer caught it. It just makes me really sad. It's a gilded cage and I wish they could just spend money on new clothes. It's weird. Ms. Bowie added, it's strange because they have a lot of money. It doesn't make sense to me. Royal fans, however, were endeared by King Charles being so relatable with his holy socks, with some taking to Twitter to praise his sustainability and wholesomeness. One tweeted, even the King of the United Kingdom has a hole in his sock, while another said, he has to be sustainable. Twitter user @MurphyHeather_ added, I know there will be criticism and critique but I find this endearingly wholesome. Charles has long eschewed fashion trends, preferring instead to wear well-worn favorites that can stand the test of time. Since reports about his sock emerged, some have compared his seeming frugalness to that of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. One Twitter user saw the similarities with the late Queen, saying, I love the King and have so much respect for him. As for the late Queen, they always wore same old clothes with pride, helping people. God bless the King. The late Queen was known for her thrifty ways and, despite having a multi-million-pound fortune, was not afraid to tighten the purse strings when necessary. Palace insiders have previously told of her insistence on cutting the budget whenever possible, ranging from banning light bulbs with more than 40 watts to shredding old newspapers for use as horses betting. Royal historian Sir Roy Strong once dubbed Her Majesty the make-do and mend Queen, saying, the Queen has never been an extravagant person. She was 13 when the Second World War began, so her formative years were hugely shaped by growing up in the shadow of the conflict. The entire nation had to make sacrifices, and while no one is suggesting the royal family had to slum it, Britain stood alone for a while against Germany. Food was rationed and there was a real sense of make do and mend. That's something that has stayed with the Queen all her life. And, seemingly, the late monarch has passed down her thriftiness to the younger royal generations. Huge crowds gathered in East London to greet the King and Queen as they made their way down Brick Lane earlier this month. More than 1,000 well-wishers lined the route, and the couple followed a group of dancers who scattered flower petals in their path. During the visit, the King planted a tree and was given a box of jalebi and Bengali samosas by a local restaurant, which he promised to try later. At another point, he was offered a cup of tea in the crowded Grand Bangla restaurant. However, the monarch only got as far as putting sugar in the cup before it was whisked away on the advice of his police protection officers over fears it was about to be spilt.